which type of damage you do.
Usually you do.
Yeah, I think it's probably simplified in this just because there might not be any. We're not worrying about damage resistances with some of these monsters. But yeah, basically with telekinetic projectile, you can pick an object, and the type of object it is depends on, or allows you to dictate the damage type you do, which is really a versatile spell. I think that's why it's a lot of people's bread and butter spell.
Yeah.
Because it's super helpful if you're facing a zombie that's vulnerable to slashing. You can pick up a broken blade on the floor.
Or a skeleton with bludgeoning.
Exactly. Pick up a stone and then target a skeleton that's weak to bludgeoning. So it's a very versatile spell.
It is. I have this as a failure.
Well, that was 2 action spells, so I'm gonna do Force Barrage again and just do the 1 action, just so at least he gets some damage.
Sure, sounds good.
Ooh, and that's 5 damage. That was max damage.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, it's very bloodied, but still hanging on. Round 3, Valoros, you are stable and unconscious, and it's the fly's turn. It's probably not smart enough to realize what's happening to it, so it'll just start lashing out. This is going to be a miss on nat 20. I'm so sorry, everyone. All right, 23 would be a hit, so that's going to be a crit. All right.
On this episode of Dawn of the Frogs, we all die.
Yeah, let's see what we're playing
On
next.
which one?
That's Murziel is the one I was targeting.
Okay.
So let's see. This is 10 points of piercing damage. And a miss. So that's the fly. Fortitude save from you for being bitten.
A 13.
Okay. All right. So yeah, where this thing bit you, you start to feel this like sting, and then just this kind of pallor comes over you. You feel like nauseous almost. You'll be sickened 1.
Oh no.
That's his favorite condition.
Right?
Yes, let's talk about what the sickened condition does.
Yeah.
So the sickened condition, you will take a status penalty equal to the value on all checks and DCs. So this is a really bad condition to have, because this means all of your skill checks, all your attack roll checks, any kind of check, and your DCs. So your DCs are like your will DC, your fort DC, your
Including
reflex
your
DC
AC as well?
and your AC, yes, because that is also a DC.
So literally everything on your sheet is -1.
Yeah, it is a very bad one.
Yep.
However, you can, if you are sickened, you can spend an action on your turn to retch and basically attempt a new fortitude save against this effect. And if you succeed, you'll reduce your sickened value. If you critically succeed, you'll reduce it by 2. So there is an option that you can just shove a couple fingers down your throat and kind of purge whatever is bothering you, which is, look, it's such a weird mechanic, but it makes sense. It's
crazy.
just gross. Oh, and I want to call out too, before we move forward, that you were asking, is he 30 feet away? You and I kind of know how that works, but let's talk about it. So each of these squares is a 5-foot square, and actually mentions that in the little corner here. However, the diagonals, every other, is 5 and then 10, because it's kind of your more efficient movement going diagonally, so they tax you more to go 5, 10, 5, 10. So when we're saying Ezrin is 30 feet from the Swampfly, we've got 5 feet here, 10, and then here is now 20, 25, 30. And then if we go here, it'd be 40. So he's 30 feet away from the fly. So right at the maximum range of your spell. Because I think it is, some of your spells are 30, some of them are 60. But
Force Barrage is 120.
whoa, yeah, that's great. Especially, I love Force Barrage for, like, you have an enemy that's like running away or retreating, and you can be like, no, 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 you're not going anywhere.
No.
Bop. Force Barrage.
No.
It's a great spell for that. Yeah, last week on Bloodlords with that one gas that tried to get away.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. I don't either. That almost went really sideways. Oh, man. Okay, enough about Bloodlords. We're playing Dawn of the Frogs. Kira, you're up.
Okay. I am going to use 2 actions to cast one of my first level heals
Okay.
on Farizio?
Valoros.
Valros, whatever.
You're good. Yes.
The fighter.
You mixed up
You
our
got-
names.
Yeah.
Valeris and Veriziel.
Yes,
Whatever.
Merziel is your rogue.
Confusion.
She's
So-
shipping us.
That's confusing coming from Kira, but, you know.
Right?
Okay, so this will be healing them D8 plus 8
Okay,
when
perfect. That's awesome. Yeah, so you focus in to try to get Valeros back on their feet.
You'll take 13 health back. And then with my last action, I'm going to attack.
Great, okay. That's a great use
You
of a
gotta
turn.
kill this fly.
Yeah.
And that's not going to hit because that is a, well, does a 15 hit while it's flanked?
It will hit because it is flanked.
Because it's flanked.
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah, that
Kill it.
off-guard condition is absolutely
That's why
phenomenal.
we can't have nice things.
Yep.
Just throwing my dice.
That's why we have extra sets of dice.
That's
Because
right.
I throw stuff like. What do you got?
That sucks. 3.
3 damage is enough to dispatch that foe.
Nice.
Yes!
Yay! I mean, it's a fly, so it's probably gonna splatter.
Ugh, okay. Yeah, you lop it to the floor and this nasty reddish ichor just comes pouring out. Maybe it's the
Gross.
berries, maybe it's something more sinister. I don't know.
I mean, they did try to bite us.
It's true. Yeah, they were pretty nasty
A lot.
flies. So, you guys have dealt with your immediate threats. There still is this kind of thick layer of fog over the top of this mound, but you're able to collect the rest of the berries without interruption.
I'll spend a couple actions trying to rid myself of the sickened condition.
Sure. Yeah, why don't you give me some retch checks?
Retch. Oh, that's a natural 19.
Okay.
Plus,
so,
you said it was fortitude, so
Yep.
plus 4, minus 1, so 22.
yeah, so you are all good. You are no longer sickened.
Awesome.
Is there anything else you guys want to do at the top of the mound while you kind of recover and recuperate?
I am going to treat wounds.
Okay, let's talk about tree winds.
Yes,
Could
please.
you explain how that works for the group?
So I take my medicine skill, and what I'm going to do is basically roll a medicine check on each of them, and then there's a, let's see, I'm only trained,
Okay.
so the trained DC is, what,
15.
15? And if I crit, I get to heal more.
Yes, it's 2d8 for a success and 4d8 for a critical success.
Is there a plus to it?
There is at the higher proficiency levels.
Oh, higher
So you
proficiency.
get, it's like 2d8,
So-
4d8, and then flat numbers. The
Yeah.
higher up you go. Eventually it's like plus 50 or something like that.
What is it? It's trained, and then
Trained, expert,
Expert.
master, legendary are the 4 training tiers.
expert adds a D10 on the non-critical, or not a D10.
Just flat 10.
flat 10. Critical adds 20, and then it goes 20, 30,
Yeah, it
40,
goes- yep.
50.
Yep, it gets higher and higher the more flat healing you can do.
Yeah.
But that also means that it's going to be a higher DC. But luckily, we don't
Yes.
have to worry about expert or master or legendary proficiency ranks.
Because
in
we're
this-
not there yet.
Exactly. Everybody should just be trained in the stuff that they're good at. You shouldn't be expert at level 1. I think that's level 3 is the earliest you could possibly be expert.
It's interesting
Probably.
She's expert in 2 saving throws, though.
Oh, interesting.
Saving
And
throws and
perception.
perception.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that fighters too, they get
okay.
like expert right away. On some
I'm
things.
expert in will.
I'm not.
And
I'm
weapons.
gonna do some medicine on.
Okay, so this will take 10 minutes for you to do this treat on one person because you don't have any special feats that allow you to do it on
No, I
multiple.
don't have like ward medic or anything
Right,
of that
exactly.
nature.
So just one
I'm
person.
also trained in will.
And then they become immune for like an hour, right?
Yes,
Okay.
but
Yes.
the time spent healing is part of
So
that, so
another
50 minutes. But you can also choose
So-
to spend the whole hour taking care of them to double whatever you get.
Oh.
I rolled a
Didn't know
12.
that.
A 12 is a fail. So unfortunately, you won't be able to help them for 50 minutes. Does anybody
That
else
one.
need healing?
I'm down to.
Okay.
Yeah, a bit. So she,
Okay. And you
I'm
probably
down a lot.
Yeah. I don't think you actually hit me.
I don't think so. No, I was gonna say you probably have a healer's toolkit. I'm not sure if Ezrin would have a healer's
Oh
toolkit.
no, I
Yeah.
don't think I do. I didn't see it on there.
Yep.
I do
Even if
not.
he is
It
trained
would
in medicine.
make
I
sense.
am trained in medicine, but I do not have. That's why I didn't
I'm
heal
also
myself.
trained in medicine. Interesting.
Interesting. I think that's good.
Hold
I think
on.
that it's good to have everybody have a baseline, be able to.
I'm actually
Medicine.
trained in
Take care of
everything but
Yep.
deception and intimidation
Healer's toolkit.
and performance.
That's that high intelligence coming in.
All right.
I do
Well,
have
I'm
a
gonna
healer's
try it on.
toolkit.
Do you?
So could
The
I
wizard.
try to treat wounds on?
No, I become
You
immune
become
to
immune to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What'd you say?
Thank you, Kiva. That's an
I'm gonna
important distinction.
treat wounds, but I'm probably not. The die has decided to not like you guys.
Oh no.
That's a 13.
Seeing her not do so well
Yeah.
here, I think I'm gonna try to treat wounds on myself.
But you could assist.
Oh, I
That's
could.
okay. Because
Yeah,
I'm just
that
gonna
gives you a
give
+2.
up on
It
that.
would, yes.
and-
So I would do that. Well, that would have made her
Sure.
first one.
Well, we'll say since she already rolled it, we'll just call it a wash. You guys will have some time on the barge if you
Yeah.
need to
Okay.
patch each other up some more. So if you're gonna heal yourself,
I'm gonna heal myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna try.
Well, I'm gonna add to it at least a little bit. That's what I'm here for. I'm gonna cast a 3-rank heal spell.
You mean a 3 action?
3 action
Okay.
heal spell.
Got it.
With and that is gonna give back a D8 to everyone.
Okay. That'll
And
definitely
it's
help everybody else
Better
out.
than nothing.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna roll
Yeah,
a
it is.
14 on my medicine, so that's also
Okay.
a fail.
All right. That's unfortunate.
Dang, guys.
Except when I roll a 1 on my D8.
Gosh.
Again, we should have been assisting.
Everybody gets 1.
Yeah.
I promise I'm not trying to kill you in this like very introductory adventure, but it seems to be going that way. The dice are telling a very specific
I'm gonna go
story.
take a nap.
I don't blame you. Hopefully,
I
you
like
will.
this idea.
Yep.
I mean, I could keep trying to heal you, but
Yeah, I'm not in any shape to keep going at this point. We need to head back to town probably and rest.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
so about 6, you guys are about 6 hours into the adventuring day. It's about
yeah.
2 in the afternoon. And if you do decide to go back to town for the night, it's going to be probably a few hours back from what you remember of the map.
well, I can try again because I also have the scrolls, as well as what I myself can cast.
Okay, so maybe burn up a couple scrolls just to keep things
Okay.
going.
Yeah.
There's plenty of sunlight. You guys will be fine.
Okay.
You could camp out here too.
No, thank you.
Not with that fog up there.
No,
That those
thank you.
flies came
Yeah, maybe
out of.
not this island, but maybe somewhere else. I don't know.
This
The
humidity,
last island we
all
went to
these
had skeletons.
Lies.
That's right.
How about 8?
All right, 8 back to everybody.
gosh.
That makes a big difference. Yeah, I imagine that traditional healing with bandages and everything is complicated by just the wet, perpetual, muddy humidity, like Valero said. It's just damp and gross.
I'm way better. I'm
Yeah.
only down 3 now.
I'm
Okay.
only down 1.
Way
so, yeah,
better.
we're good.
Awesome.
I was down to 4.
Are you way better too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
How are you, Mr. Down and Dying?
He should be full now, right?
No, I'm still missing 2.
Really?
Okay, that's better than
But
Yeah.
2's
better
better.
than dying.
Yep.
You
I
can,
agree.
you can get 2 back by sleeping.
Real quick, we did talk about assist. I don't know if we called out that if you,
Yeah,
you
thank
can,
you for pointing
you
that
can
out.
assist
Oh.
someone's action if you're trained in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And give them a +2.
Yeah, as long as it's an action that, like, there are untrained actions, you don't have to be trained the skill to attempt. And as long as you're able to attempt the check that they're making, you can attempt to aid or assist. And basically, it's a DC 15 check, and you can give them a +1 or a +2 on a crit success. And then it gets higher if you're very high proficiency in that specific skill. So you can even give somebody like a +4 if they're attempting an Arcana check and you're also legendary in Arcana.
So here's the problem with not healing to full, is that they're still wounded.
Well, you used magical healing, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, then I think that will get rid of the wounded condition. The wounded condition should go away. Let me read the little thing here.
No,
No.
magical healing does not treat wounds. Does.
They have to be.
They have to magical healing to full health or treat wounds, and treat wounds
And
didn't.
treat wounds failed. Because,
Treat wounds
Correct.
failed.
Right.
So they're
Correct.
still wounded 1.
Yes. Yes, it will end if you treat wounds or if you're restored to full HP and rest for 10 minutes. So no treat wounds, no wounded condition goes away. But maybe you'll have some time on the barge while you're
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can
we
do
have an
that.
hour.
pushing on to your
Try
next
treat wounds again.
location.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of,
Oh,
no, please go ahead.
I want to understand for myself because I haven't used medicine much. I know there are some feats that shorten the immunity time to like.
Yep. 10 minutes.
Okay, it goes from an hour to 10 minutes.
Yep.
Yes, there are a couple that help. There is continual recovery, which is I think it's a skill feat. Is that correct? Or is it a general
yes.
feat? Yes,
I can't
skill feat that makes you immune to treat wounds for 10 minutes. So you can basically, instead of doubling it after an hour, you could do 6 treat wounds checks throughout the hour. Then there's another feat called robust health. That is a general feat. That's what I'm thinking of, and that reduces your battle medicine, which is a skill you can learn to do in combat, from 1 day to 1 hour. Those are the 2 that I always get flip-flopped.
Continual recovery is great. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mert certainly
Because
has
that
that.
10 minutes overlap, so you can just chain your treat wounds checks.
Exactly. Yeah. It usually behooves you just to do that every single 10 minutes instead of doubling. Yeah. Yeah.
Again,
It's great.
Like my favorite cleric spell, or not spell, feat is Ward Medic, which allows me to treat more than 1 person at a time. And I think if you take it again, at like 13, you can do up to 4 people.
Yeah,
So
it gets
one roll,
really high.
4 people.
Yeah. Once you get your proficiency ranks up, it gets really good.
Yes.
But to point out, continual recovery, I believe, only affects yourself. Like if you have continual recovery and you have war medic, you can't just continual recovery everybody. They have to have that feat.
Okay.
So
I might have misread it then when I was playing Baker's Rebellion.
it's always that last sentence.
Yeah.
It always gets you somehow, one way or the other. So yeah, it's definitely, there's a lot of nuance in these games, and it can get more complicated the more in depth you play these characters and the higher levels that you play them at. But luckily today we're playing at level 1, which makes things fairly simple. But we'll still talk about these kind of more advanced mechanics.
Cool stuff.
Oh, I agree. There's a wide world of Pathfinder 2e, and we'll kind of hint at it as we go because it's fun to talk about. But what do you guys do now that you've collected the berries you need?
Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, you guys can wind your way back down. I'm not going to make you make the checks again because I feel like you did enough hacking and slashing to clear a path back down to the raft. You can hop on the raft.
Somebody threw the brambles at the flies,
Right.
clearing the path.
Yeah, cut it all up and made a clear path to get back.
And those bramble damages were the difference.
Yes, definitely. And now that you're on the barge, where would you like to go? You basically have one ingredient left to find for this antidote, and that's the
How
mushrooms.
far away?
That's a good question. If you look at the map, it's hard to tell. Has anyone trained in survival?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So for those of you that are thinking, how far away is it? Why don't you give me a roll?
21.
Okay.
5.
13.
Okay.
20.
Okay. So everybody's trained in survival? That's awesome.
I'm
Okay.
trained in survival.
That's great. All right. So for Kira and for Ezrin, you both think that it's maybe a couple hours-ish. For Valeros, you're not sure if it's in days, hours, or minutes, but it's a number. But
It's
yeah,
numbers.
you have a
It's
rough
finite.
idea that it took you a few hours to get to your first location, so it's probably about that far. These are all kind of triangulated in an area around Bog Bottom.
No, we can't get there from here.
That's right.
And then how far away from the town?
How far are you from the town? You're also kind
No,
of a
like
couple
from
hours.
that.
From the mushrooms to the
So
town.
if you go to the mushroom patch and then work your way back, it's gonna be another couple hours.
So we're thinking like 4 hours just travel time.
yeah.
Roughly.
early
if you,
afternoon.
Right. If you guys are really kind of really pick your paths and don't get lost down any dead ends or kind of branches and where the water is flowing, you should be able to get there maybe even faster than that. If you really
I think
pick
we
your
should
path.
do it.
Okay.
Are we racing against the clock on this antidote?
I
here?
just why would we come back out tomorrow if we're just
And why do we want to be out here at night?
Sure. I think those are all very reasonable things. I think Ladruza would also point out that, she wants you guys to get it as quickly as possible, but not to, kill
The quicker
yourselves
we
in
get
the
it, the more
process.
jobs we can take.
Exactly. Yeah, so I don't think she pressed there wasn't like a you have 8 hours
Maybe
to get
I
this
can learn more
antidote
magic.
or everybody dies kind of
Do
thing.
more
It's just
things.
get it as soon
Level
as
up.
you can. Okay. So you guys are gonna make your way towards the mushroom
Spread the
patch.
light.
That's right.
Who would like to give me a survival check? And I will take an aid for whoever's gonna roll this to kind of guide the barge in that direction.
Who's gonna
Who's
roll?
rolling?
I can aid or
Okay.
roll either one.
I like the aid.
Okay.
You want to roll it?
I'll roll
I'll
it.
aid. Here we go. With a natural 1 on my aid.
It's a nat 20.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. We got the
So a nat 20 is going to be a critical success. So you will at least be able to reach the mushroom patch in 1 hour.
I could feel that nat one coming. Sorry.
That's right.
I think you give a -1.
Yeah. On a nat 1 aid check. Yeah.
Luckily, it's still a crit success with the nat 20. So we're going to go to the mushroom patch, which I think is on the other side of this sheet.
I like
Sorry, I just looked up.
that
I
over
was
real
just looking
fast.
at my ward medic and my other character. So because it's just neat, it's what you can do with it.
Yeah.
Is if you're a master, you can treat 4. And if
Yeah.
you're a legendary, you can treat 8
Yeah, that's
Holy
a
cow.
ton of
at
people.
one time.
I hope I never play a
your
game that
entire
has
party.
8 PCs
I know,
in it.
right?
That sounds like a lot.
I did happen to look up continual recovery as well because I was curious.
Yeah.
It says when you treat wounds, your patient becomes immune for only 10 minutes.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. So I was wrong on that. Thanks for the catch on that.
That's awesome.
So that makes it
good.
really powerful, yeah, for a medic. Yeah,
But that's only for you when you treat wounds, not other
Right.
people treating wounds around you or anything. So
Right.
you've got to be like the dedicated medic. If you
I
that
would
feat.
have to.
Yeah.
I probably something I should have.
But stick those two together, and man, oh
Continue
man.
Yeah.
recovery, ward medic, yeah. Just
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
leave me again on the barge?
I can, and
Yeah,
I
you guys
will.
have an hour, so.
That is way better. Let's see, that is the medicine check is a 23. So that is the DC, and it was a D8 or 2D8.
2d8 for a success.
I'm missing 2, so.
Oh, yep, you got it.
All right.
I tried
You are
to treat
fully
ones on
ill.
myself and didn't
And your
succeed
wounded
this
condition
time.
goes away.
And your wounded condition goes away.
It wasn't as critical for me, so that's why I wasn't gonna get it.
All right. So you guys pull up to basically maybe somewhere over here by these lily pads, and you approach this kind of tipped over tree with these massive mushrooms growing on it. And I'm going to read the description, and then we'll talk about what we do next. So there's a huge trunk of a rotten tree that looms ahead. The wooden behemoth lost its crown and most of its branches long ago, likely from a lightning strike. Now it leans perilously to one side, covered in mushrooms with a distinctive black cap and white rim, making them look like waning moons. These match the description Ladruza gave for one of the ingredients she needs. I'll put you guys kind of over here. Let's say you pulled up on the shore somewhere here, if that works.
Okay. The last two places that we've been attacked.
I know, that's...
So what are the
I'm-
odds it happens a third time? We should just go grab these.
Go right ahead, darling.
Yeah, I'm not putting up with this bullshit again. I've got my shield raised and my sword out.
Right.
Well, you only live
So,
once.
You guys are metagaming. Yeah, no, it's fine. All right,
swords out,
sure. Weapons at the
shields
ready.
raised. So, we will be defending.
Okay,
And I'm kind of sneaking along the edge there near the brush.
sounds good.
Closest toward you.
Yeah,
with
let's
my weapon now.
Yeah, let's talk about kind of the different modes that we get into when we're playing this game. So, the combat with the flies, that's something called encounter mode, right? Where you're actually in a turn-based, combat. Each round lasts 6 seconds, and you're pushing your way through an encounter. Outside of encounter mode, there's something called exploration mode, and that is basically where you're kind of saying, I'm going to do this thing as we move along. And there are several different skills you can use, or kind of modes of movement you can use as you're exploring. You might be seeking, which would be using your perception to look for stuff. You might be avoiding notice, which Mauricio is very good at by sneaking. You might be continuing to cast a spell like detect magic. Ezrin might be just, I'm going to keep casting detect magic as we travel along, and if something magical pops up, then I know that there's something nearby that we need to pay attention to. You can defend, like Valorous might, if they have their shield raised and they're ready, and that means that when initiative rolls, they've got their shield already raised so they can shield block if they need to. And then another good example would be like scouting ahead. So you can scout ahead of your party to give them a bonus on initiative. Basically, like if I see something in the distance that may prevent them from being ambushed. So lots of kind of choices you can choose. And it's pretty dynamic. You can call out, I'm seeking, and now I'm going to cast a spell, and now I'm going to go back to seeking. You don't have to pick one and stick with it. But it sounds like for this, we're going to be pretty much ready and maybe defending, or do you guys have specific exploration actions you want to do? Seeking or
Raise shield.
raise shield? Okay, so defending.
Defending.
Okay.
I also have a shield.
Avoid notice, yeah.
Okay, avoid notice. Perfect. Sounds good. Okay. So as you are defending and avoiding notice, you step off the barge and onto the ground, and you keep moving up. You get about 5 feet away from these mushrooms.
I'm gonna have my crossbow out at this point.
Okay, sounds good. And you don't see anything that's a concern up until you're kind of right up near the mushrooms. Then you hear a small and gruff voice from on top of the log here, and you notice that like one of the mushrooms moves. And you see this little creature. TJ, if you want to throw up the art for this.
Oh, how cute is he?
I know, isn't he?
Looks like he's curtsy.
Yes, so this little voice says, I am Leathercap. Who are you and what do you want with my kin, my family? What do you do?
Well, we would like to take some of your mushrooms so that we can heal some people that have no memories.
You're going to take my family? Well, I can't let you have them. You're gonna give them to people?
Yeah.
No, you can't have them. So if you're trying to convince him, why don't you give me a roll of your choice? Diplomacy, intimidation, deception.
Nope, that's an 8.
Okay.
Diplomacy.
Yeah, he kind of stomps his foot on the log, and you see it kind of rock up and down a bit. So, you're not going to take my family anywhere. Leave them alone. What about Mariziel or...
Sure I am.
Your family is very useful and helpful, and it would be a great honor for you to help. Yes, I'm using diplomacy.
Oh. Okay, go ahead and roll your diplomacy.
19.
Okay.
It's way better than I did.
With a 19, he's, a great honor. Oh, I see. And then he takes that little, skirt he's got and kind of swishes it and does a little curtsy and a bow, kind of both at the same time. And says, I suppose I could allow you to take just a few caps, or a few that are no longer, in the peak of youth, I suppose. One moment, and he hops down from the log and will come over and cut you off just a few select caps that he's chosen, and give them to you. And you guys have the caps.
I was gonna say
Thank
perception
you.
check to make sure these are actually legit.
Okay.
Do these match the description that
They do match the description, and although they might seem like a little drier, a little older, they're not like a different
not unusual.
species, or
Okay.
they don't seem to be affected by any kind of disease that you can tell.
Okay.
So, but if anyone wants to give a perception to kind of sense motive on him to see if he's telling the truth, you certainly could.
Yeah. That's 26.
Okay. Yeah, 26. He's being totally honest that he's willing to give them to you, but as he is kind of plucking a few, he is apologizing to them.
Aw.
I'm so sorry. It's okay. It's
sheathe
very
my
important.
sword.
This is a great honor to help
Yeah.
others. And he does pull a couple of them for you, very gingerly and kind of sorrowfully. But you have some caps to take with you.
Thank you so much.
Maybe not armfuls like you did with the berries and the
Flowers.
Yes, and the flowers, but you have 3 or 4 decent caps you can take on.
Did she say how much we need? Is this, we good?
She didn't say how much I needed.
Probably enough.
She didn't necessarily say. I think probably a couple caps would probably be enough for. I think there was only 4 or 6 people that were sick.
Okay.
I think we head back and
Yeah.
Yeah.
look for these ingredients.
Okay.
Found the things.
Yes, this little
Back to the
leather
town.
cap says, "Farewell. Remember, leather cap. I appreciate the honor to help others." Okay. We're going back to town. Who would like to make the survival check to try to get us back in one piece?
If a dawnflower, bless you.
Okay.
Aid.
Aid.
Don't know who the
I'm
flower
brother.
is.
Oh, I got
The sun, man.
23
It's
on
the
my
sun.
aid check.
Mine's
So-
a 7.
I got a 23 on my survival check.
Okay.
So +2 for me, right?
All right. So 23.
Yes.
Okay, this is another critical
Plus
success.
eggs.
So you do make it back in an hour. So it's about 9 hours in. You guys are it's only 3-4 in the afternoon, but you're
Nice.
making your way back towards town. And as you're pushing your way back, actually, honestly, while you're pushing off from the mushroom patch, before you even kind of get into the river proper, or I guess part of the estuary that leads back towards town, why don't everybody give me a perception check?
No.
Is this to hear something or?
Something is happening. Yes.
Okay.
17.
Well, I got a natural 1, so
Aww.
20s.
But this isn't initiative. Initiative bonus system.
Right. Yeah.
It's just a perception.
Just a blanket perception.
Oh, is that our raft?
That's your raft.
Barge.
That's your barge. You're on there. Where would you guys like to be on the barge?
out of danger.
Apparently, we're canoodling in the middle.
In the middle is where you want to be. Okay. What about
Yeah, I'm in the middle.
Ezrin's kind of right in the middle. Okay. What
I guess I
about
wouldn't
Rizio?
be at the middle because I was the one
You
that
were the
was
survival
doing
one.
the...
Yeah, I
you're
was
the
probably
cushion.
looking over the edge and getting
somewhere over
distracted by some frogs or something.
Okay. What about Valoros?
I'll be on the right side paddling.
Okay, so back here, like where the push pull is. Perfect. Okay. All right. And you guys had ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the 18 over here, you do see kind of, as you're pushing off to get into the river, you see this big bulbous eyeball come up above the water line and then sink back down.
Well,
What do you do?
That's not good.
Nope.
Oh, I'll tell them about it.
Okay.
Something in the water, guys.
So it
There's
doesn't
lots
seem
of
to
things in the
bother you
water.
Looks
until
quite large.
Yep. Until you're about a quarter mile from Bog Bottom. You see the town in the distance, you see some of the torches being lit for the afternoon, and then suddenly a rush of water comes charging towards the raft. A wave of foul-smelling swamp water rushes over the barge as a massive frog-like creature leaps
Damn
from
it,
the
now
depths
I
of the
need another
swamp
bath.
to land at the stern. And when it lands on the stern of the boat, basically the whole raft tips to one side under its weight.
Oh, you're ugly.
And while its belly coats the deck with slick grease, it looks like there's an old dagger embedded in its flank. The monster lets out a thunderous croak as it licks its lips in anticipation, while the entire barge shakes under the creature's massive bulk.
So where? The stern?
Yes, yeah, the bow, the stern, the port, starboard.
So in the back,
Yes, in the back. The poop deck? I don't know.
where he is.
He's on the poop deck. Yeah, comes up.
Oh my
It's on the poop
god.
deck now. If the water rushed up on there.
It's large, so I think this is a huge
It's
template.
huge.
It's a huge template creature. It's large, so it's only in these 4 squares.
Crazy.
That's funny. That's an interesting misprint. He's not that big. He's large. So let's get some initiatives.
Sure.
Oh yes, let's.
Great.
Ugh.
What do we got?
10.
10. Okay.
23.
23. Oh my goodness.
19.
14.
Okay.
Nice spread.
Yep.
That goes along with our ones. We weren't
Kara, what was
In
yours
the-
again? I'm sorry.
10.
10. Thank you. Okay.
Influenza.
And then this guy.
Huh?
Influenza.
Yeah, it goes with our ones. We weren't paying that much attention, so we're last.
I totally understand. Okay. Up first is going to be Valoros. This thing is right next to you.
Yeah, so not having any weapons out yet,
Right.
I think, get off my boat. I'm gonna shove him.
Ooh, all right. Go for it.
Well, yeah, not wrong so great in combat. 13.
Shove is fortitude DC. Yeah, that's not going to be enough, unfortunately. And when you do kind of like, is it low shoulder or how do you go about kind of shoving, like both hands or a broad kick?
Yeah, low center of gravity, pushing up.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, lift with your legs. You
Yep.
try to push him over the edge, and maybe just trying to get under him, you realize that belly is so slick, and you slip off, trying to push on him. It's not a critical fail, but you're not able to shove him.
Yeah, not gonna have much better luck the second time, so I will get out my shield and raise it.
Okay, sounds good. That brings us to Ezrin. What do you do?
Probably not a lot that I can do to the telekinetic projectile.
Sure, you could certainly do that.
Try it. Don't knock
try
it till
that
you try it.
Yeah, there might be like some splinters of the raft when it jumped up on.
That's
You can
20. Dirty 20.
dirty 20. That's it.
It's a hit.
It's a hit.
It is.
Takes 5.
5 points of damage. Okay,
Damage.
that's great. And you got one more action.
Yeah, got nothing I can do. So.
Okay, just forego it. That's fine.
Pull that
move
crossbow
away.
out.
Recall
Oh, yeah, let's pull the
knowledge.
crossbow.
Yeah, okay.
Just in case.
Sounds good. Got a backup. All right, Maurizio.
What side did you say that shiny thing is sticking out of its side? So there's a dagger.
Like in its breast to one side.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna draw my rapier.
Okay.
And then I'm going to move up to it and attack.
Okay.
If I can get in the flank position, great. If not, then that's fine because it's still off guard to me because I'm going for it.
Right. Yeah, because it hasn't acted yet. It'll be off guard because of your. Is it called sneak attack?
It is called surprising.
Surprise attack. Thank you.
Surprise!
Sounds good. So you can move up, and yeah, you won't be flanking because you can't really get on opposite sides of it, but you
It
can
is off guard to
certainly.
me.
Yep.
That's not gonna do it with a 2.
You have
2
Ooh.
plus 7 is a 9.
Okay.
Yeah, I do have
Reroll.
that, but I mean, is it worth it right now?
It's up
Could
to you
be.
guys.
It could be.
Could be. I'll try it.
All right, cashing it in.
Yep.
First hero point gone. He's
Here we go.
re-rolling a d20 roll.
Here we go. That's a lot better. That's a 15 plus 7 for a 22.
Okay. 22 is a hit.
Is it? All right. Then I get my 2d6 plus 4. That's max damage.
Nice.
That is 12 plus 4, which is 16.
16 points of damage.
Piercing
Holy
damage.
smoke.
Dang.
Okay.
Dang.
Got
It's
it.
definitely worth the hero point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you drive
For
it
that
in, and
max
basically, like,
damage.
that rapier goes to the hilt. And you pull
Nice.
that back out, and it just bellows in this nasty, deep croak. And is that all 3 of your actions?
That is all 3 of my
Okay.
actions.
It's now that creature's turn, and he is very unhappy with that
Yeah.
sharp needle that just pierced its belly. Soft, slimy belly. So he's going to turn to you. Yes. And it just opens his mouth with those massive
Oh, no.
tusks and
I'm gonna get
just
swallowed in another
looms
game.
over you to just
God.
crunch. Yeah, just to crunch down on you with these massive tusks. 14.
Misses.
It's going to try again. 21.
That's a hit.
Okay. Here we go.
You do
I did. 7
That's
points of
okay.
damage.
not. Okay.
Think about what it really wants to do. It doesn't have much to do in the corner of this barge.
Wants to apologize.
Yes, run away and apologize. I think what it's going to do is, Ezrin, you threw a projectile at it. It's going to, like, from trying to, like, gnaw on Maurizio, it's got this, like, phlegm in its mouth that was just oozing out. And it's going to lean back and, like, and spit this slime ball at you.
That's gross.
Yes, it is. And it's an 18. Okay, and that is with third map, by the way. just to clarify. I'm just rolling hot tonight for some reason.
Damn.
So you're not going to take any damage, but you will be affected by something called entangling slime.
Ew.
So you will be clumsy 1 and take a -5 foot penalty to your speed for 1 hour until the slime is
1
removed.
hour.
You can
definitely
use,
need a bath.
Yes, you can use an interact action to splash swamp water on yourself and wash the stuff away to remove the penalty, but you'll have to move to the edge of the raft to do so. Clumsy, for those at home, is you take a status penalty equal to your clumsy value on dexterity-based checks and DCs.
And you
So-
have to voluntarily put this gross swamp water on you.
Yes, yeah, you have to mix the slime with the gross stagnant swamp water.
Well,
At least I'm not a dex character.
Yes.
just got spit on by a frog.
Yep. So that will include your AC, your reflex saves, ranged attacks, and skill checks with acrobatics, stealth, and thievery. So it's more than you think it is. It's not a great debuff to have on you.
That's gross.
But that is the creature's turn. Kira, you're up. Let's wrap it up.
I'm gonna do a knowledge check.
Okay.
Recall knowledge.
Perfect. I'll take nature for this guy.
Okay. Thank you. No, in the tray. Not probably not gonna do much with a 10.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, you're not sure what this thing is. It looks like a toad, but it just has these massive, like almost walrus-like tusks and this slimy belly.
Well, I've noticed something that is not marked off on my character sheet, and I'm gonna go ahead and do it with my last 2 actions.
Okay.
I am going to breathe fire.
Whoa, okay. Yeah, you could probably do that so it gets him and not your allies.
It is a 15-foot cone.
Okay. Great.
Our boat.
I'll aim at its face. It's huge.
Okay, go for it.
So, a gout of flame sprays from my mouth
Okay,
and deals 2d6 fire damage to each creature in the area.
okay.
You have a reflex save, sir.
All
It
right.
is a basic reflex save.
I'm sure that this massive toad is very, very nimble. Well,
I need
actually,
you to fail miserably, please.
it's a 23.
That's not failing.
I'm sorry,
That is a success.
but not a critical success, right?
Not a critical
Okay,
success.
so I'll take half damage.
You
So
will take half damage.
just a moment. So these basic saves, basically the way they work is if you fail or succeed, you'll take half or full damage, and then a critical success or a critical failure is either no damage or double damage. So that's whenever it says a basic save, that means you double it on a crit or you get none on a critical failure. What is it?
I rolled 3.
3. So I take 1 damage.
Yes.
Yeah, so half
Yes,
is always
1.
rounded down. So 1 point of damage. All right. That's round 2.
That was really cool, Kira.
That was really cool. Round 2, and I think we're a little over for our break. So we'll
Are
take
we?
a brief moment. I think so. Time has been
Yeah.
Holy
whizzing
crap.
by. I know. Time flies when you're having fun killing frog
does.
things. So
Wow.
yeah, I totally lost track in the heat of the battle.
I didn't
So
even think
don't
it was...
go anywhere for those watching. We're gonna be right back. Some of us will kind of stay. We'll go in shifts to kind of keep talking to you. But we're gonna take a brief pause on this combat with this nasty creature, and we'll see how you guys take care of this old two tusk with the dagger sticking out of his chest. After the break, I'm gonna pull up the Discord, or I'm sorry, but maybe I'll pull up the Discord, but I'll pull up the Twitch and the YouTube too to kind of see what's going on in the chat, and we'll catch up with you guys. Because usually we're not really paying too much attention to it during the show because we're focusing in on the action, but we want to catch up with you guys. But if we don't respond to anything that you said in the chat during the live stream, feel free to put that in the Discord, because then we'll definitely see it and get back to you. But we don't always catch stuff when it's in the live stream.
Those tusks are impressive, but I want to talk about his eyebrows more than anything.
Oh, those are
Those are
yeah.
So, somebody said the fighter one-shots the fly. Actually, that was a rogue that one-shotted the fly.
Yes. Rogues, when they
Crit with a sneak attack is ridiculous.
so mean.
And I even forgot my deadly D8 there, which is deadly. If you get a crit, you add an extra die. If it's
Right.
But
But that does not get doubled.
It does
which is very interesting.
Just add it on. There's something else called, is it fatal die or something, where
Yes.
that gets doubled?
Yeah, Fatal adds an extra die of the size it lists, and that does get doubled. On top of that, if the Fatal die is larger than the die of your weapon, it increases all your damage die to that
wow.
size for the crit. So Fatal's really mean.
Is that a weapon property?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, so a good example is the Great Pick. It's a huge two-handed pickaxe, right? And I think the base damage is D10s, which is still a very big damage die. Well, it has the Fatal D12 trait. So if you crit with a Great Pick, it's D12s for all of your damage die, plus another D12, and then all of that gets doubled. So it's
So that's really good if you have like
Very
a
neat.
striking rune or
yes,
something on there.
and it's the weapon specialization. If you have that unlocked as a fighter or whatever, is more damage on top of that. I think it's
That's
like
funny.
an extra 2 or an extra 4 per damage die. So yeah, I think that numerically speaking, the Great Pick is one of the highest damage weapons that exists, but there's not a lot of versatility to it, right? Like, so it's up to you. Do you want to just do big numbers, or do you want to be able to disarm or trip or shove or attack from reach? You know, there's so many different weapons in this game that kind of lend to so many cool fighting styles. Just because one does a lot of damage doesn't mean it's the choice.
Yeah.
But no, the fighter has done nothing useful. So whoever's playing that.
You've been a really good sponge so far.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's called meat shield.
yeah.
It's face tanking. There's nothing wrong with
Next
that.
time use your real shield instead of your meat.
Yeah, I've been rolling really hot with these monsters too. Like
Yeah,
those
you
2
have.
flies should not have been as a big of a challenge as they were, but they really stuck in there for a couple rounds.
For those of you who were wondering why we're like taking times to go over the rules and read this out to you guys, is because when we first started this, we were trying to show you the learn with you
Yeah,
side of it.
right. Because when you tune into Bloodlords on Monday, which is when we're usually playing on nights like tonight, or on Tuesday when you tune into the Soul Severed campaign, those have progressed in the story so that we're further along to a higher level of play, right? Especially Soul Severed. So there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of high-level mechanics in play. There's a lot of effects going on, and it can be kind of overwhelming to know what's happening. So we took this time, when we first played the first episode, to really just like slow down, take a deep breath, and talk about like, this is the basics of Pathfinder 2e. This is how you can play. Cracking open this box. If you've never seen anything Pathfinder 2e before, you can open this up with the family or friends
And
play through it.
the color-coded sheets.
Yes. Yeah, let me throw that on the table so you all can see it. These like sheets are very, very simple, big text, color-coded so you know like what die you're using. It has these like ABCs that reference on this side what each of those things do. So that's very, very easy to kind of tell what you got going on. And it breaks down all of the way things are calculated so you can understand it, but it just gives you the number too. So you don't have to like do all the crunchy math. It just gives you kind of the final result of, oh, I want to try acrobatics? Ezrin's plus 11 to that because he's trained. So
It even gives you on the back like common actions to do in combat and out of combat, and like specifically what Mariziel would do while exploring or during combat. So
yeah,
if you're not comfortable playing a role-playing game, it gives you hints on what you need to be doing.
yeah, it's a really helpful way to learn how to play. And I have the same thing in my this little GM book, right? So I've got where all of the encounters look like. Like here's the mushroom run, right? So it will say the berry patch. We've got 2 giant swamp flies. Here's what happens. Here's the DC to climb up the brambles if you push through. Here's what happens if you slow down, etc., etc. So it gives me all the details, but in the front of this, it also gives like all of the basics like this. Very simple, what happens when you take a turn, what happens when combat comes in, here's moving, attacking. So it gives you a quick breakdown of all the rules you need to play. And I know it looks like a lot of words, but this book's only 30 pages long, and that's like for multiple game nights. We're talking, this is usually meant to be broken down in 3 episodes. And I think because we're kind of all more experienced in Pathfinder 2e, we're cooking through it a little bit faster than normal. So
Even with slowing down.
yeah, even with taking the time to kind of explain things as they happen. So we're moving through it faster than usual. So the first episode that was 3 hours, we got through basically 1.5 of the first adventure and the first half of the second adventure. And now we're getting towards the end of the second adventure, and we'll probably get to crack into that third adventure before we're end of the show tonight. It'd be fun if we could finish it. I'd love to see that. You're fine. Do your thing.
I like the box.
Yeah, I think it's a great and super easy way to, and like, you know what, if you like scratch or tear or any of this, like, I'm not going to shed a tear for it. Now, some of my like out of print Pathfinder 1e books, I would cry if I like got those torn up. But these I feel like I can just kind of throw around, have fun with, and I'm not stressed about it, right? It's very affordable way to get into the game without, having to invest into all kinds of stuff. But speaking of, these little like, paper stanchions are very cool to play with, but, or standees, I'm sorry. But usually we're playing with hand-painted miniatures that are usually painted by Patrick, who's out today. But Nate, you also do some painting. I know that Danielle's painted a few things. I think Jenny's painted a few things for some of the shows. So we all kind of, dabble. But yeah, every Wednesday, Patrick does his Barnabas brushes and will paint really, really cool. And some of the styles he uses. It's also a very educational show. So if you want to get into painting stuff like this, that's definitely a great way to kind of learn. Some of his techniques are very, beginner friendly, I will say. There's no airbrushing, no like not extreme amount of layer painting, although he does layer paint to do some fine detail, but that slap chop speed painting,
Yep.
I can't go wrong. Especially if you're just trying to get your gray army colored and on the board.
That layered acrylic is what I generally go for
Yeah.
on mine. I did recently get some speed paint markers though that I've used on a couple of characters that work well enough. Like if you're just trying to do something quick.
Yeah, fast and dirty on a. I'm trying to think of a good example of like a WizKids mini that like you may not even need to slap chop prime it. You could probably just buy a WizKids mini and with the marker and be like,
Yeah.
good enough to put on the table. Why not?
Although I will say, speed paint you should prime white instead of dark, or at least do your highlights with white before you go and do the speed paint, because it's very thin and it spreads very thin. So it will the color will not show up if you do dark gray.
Yeah, definitely. If it's a very darkly printed mini, you don't want to just like put it on there because it'll just all look dark and drab. So that's why when I think Patrick and I, that tend to be the technique that I use is the slap chop. So great, paint it all black and then gray to white, so you got that kind of three tone. You don't want to be sparing on your grays, because when I first started painting, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. It turned out like dark and grim dark, which is definitely my vibe. I didn't really say that at the beginning of the show. I like that like survival camping trip, low fantasy, die of dysentery kind of adventure. I'm not so into the super big. Yes, not super big into like the, big, deific power struggles, grand, high level play. Although most adventures turn into that at some point at high levels if you play them out. But I like those first few levels where you're just like a good crit could kill you, and you're just trying to save up enough coin to buy a mug of ale at the end of the day and a warm dry bed. That's it's more relatable to me, and I think I enjoy that more than the flying around and stuff that you do at level 16, 17, 18. But anyway, is everybody ready to jump back in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think so.
All right, let's do it. The top of the round is Valoros.
Okay, I'm going to trip him.
All right, go for it.
15.
Okay, yeah, unfortunately that's not enough. But it's not a critical failure. So you got 2 more actions.
All right, I will draw my sword and raise my shield.
Okay, sounds good. All right, Ezra.
This sounds straight out of
Hold on.
Stranger Things.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is this Dawn of the Frogs sound pack that you found?
Yes,
Jinx?
yeah. So a lot of Pathfinder adventures are starting to get sound packs on Sirenscape, which is kind of a partner software. So there are some really cool. So for every single one of these encounters, there is a mood or a sound set that kind of comes with them. So if you want to play this for your home game and you want to pick up the Sirenscape, like pick up your 1-month subscription and pull up these sound packs, or you can buy just the sound pack by itself if you wanted, and it really like just adds to that.
So
awesome.
This is like the background music to get you into the
encounter
fight.
for this guy.
Okay.
Yes. It's called Swamp Predator, which is the name of this encounter.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Techno frogs.
Yes, which is apparently what this guy is into. He's a big fan of the synth movement.
It's straight out of the 80s.
Oh, it's great.
I know that he
Stranger
found the
Things, we're in
sound
it.
pack after the first episode.
Yeah, I don't know if it came out when we were in the first episode. It might have came out like right after or something. But it was, I'm glad that we have it for this one because this is super fun.
Yeah.
We kind of found some generic stuff to work with last time.
Yeah, it's good.
And TJ did an awesome job picking stuff out for last time, but this is awesome. All right, so Ezra, what do you do?
Oh, that's me.
That is you.
My bad.
Vibe to the music.
That's
I
right.
was vibing.
It's a free action to vibe.
Yeah, telekinetic projectile, because that worked.
Sure.
It's not going to work with a 2,
Probably not.
but we're going to use
Oh,
my
your hero point. Okay. All right. They're in
I need
short
to
supply.
hit. No, that's a 14.
Okay. Yeah, that's a miss, unfortunately. Okay, you got one more action?
Also a free action to cry.
It is.
No, I don't have another action.
Okay. Does Ezrin have the shield cantrip by chance?
No.
Just out of curiosity. Okay.
All my cantrips are 2 actions.
Okay.
All my spells are 2 or 3 actions.
All right. Yeah, there are a couple one-action cantrips, and shield is kind of the one that comes to my mind. Is kind of like I draw a little protective circle to kind of help yourself.
No, because he has
Yes, you can shield block with it if you have the shield block reaction.
he has Mystic Armor as a spell.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's smart to have some 2-action offensive spells, but okay, cool. All right, Mauricio.
Great.
He's not happy with you.
Yeah. We determined there wasn't room to get into a flanking position here, correct?
Yeah, unfortunately not unless you swim.
So, what is the rule? Does his middle have to be between us, or one of his squares between us?
You have to be able to draw through the middle. So I'm just going to move you around for the sake of experimentation. You could be here and be flanking, or you could be here and be flanking. But any of the other squares would not be appropriate because with larger creatures, you still have to be able to draw through the middle.
Yeah. And I don't want to get in the water because then I would be like waist deep, probably, right?
Yeah. I can appreciate that you are kind of flanking that corner square, right, so to speak, but you're not able to kind of draw through the middle of this creature because he takes up so much space. Yep. There's a really good, if you get on Archive of Nethys is kind of like the official reference website, but also the player core, I think the GM core has it as well. There's really good infographics, pictures of what is and isn't flanking, and that really helps kind of break things down. So I highly recommend peeking at that. If your home game, you get bogged down on how to flank this big slimy toad.
And you said he's large, right?
He is large, yes. So he takes up 4 squares. He's a 2x2.
Okay. I suppose I'm just going to strike.
Okay.
How's the 17?
17 will hit.
Awesome. Just 1d6 plus 4. That's a 6 plus 4 is 10.
Oh my. Okay. Yeah, you drive that thing in again, and he just deep bellowing croak, and you see that the slime from his belly is now spread all over the raft, and he's starting to not be able to keep his feet under him, and starting to fall down onto the deck.
Okay. I'll just stab again.
Okay.
Just gonna go for it here. That's probably not gonna do it. Let's say 8.
Fortunately not.
Nope. All right, 3rd strike.
Swing for the fence.
Yep, go for it. -10. Nope, same thing.
Okay. His turn. Then he's desperately, trying to skitter back off the barge to slip into the water. He'll take a chomp at Mauricio.
No.
Nat 20.
No, it's not.
It is. Oh god, that's so bad. Okay. Speaking of deadly die,
Yeah.
I'm not joking. He has a deadly die in this fight.
You're gonna roll minimum damage.
I'm gonna have to, because... Yeah.
Bro.
Here we go.
This is a level 1 adventure.
Yes, it is. And because of that, you would know some of the creatures in level 1 adventures can massive damage.
Yep.
It's gonna be a level 1 funeral.
I've
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
TPK'd people in level 1 adventure before, so.
Okay. It's not that bad. Don't worry. 18 points of damage.
Oh, that's only more than my maximum. And I
Okay.
was already down, so I was already at 7.
It's not that bad.
7? Okay.
Yes.
So you will go to
down.
dying 2.
Yep.
Let me move Mauricio. Oh, look at that. You're already in the right spot. Perfect. I don't even have to move you. Look at that.
Right before the
that's his
creature.
first action.
Yep.
Yeah, if I rolled max, I think I could massive damage you, which, for those at home, if you do double the maximum damage, or the maximum health of a creature, you kill it outright. There's no saving throw, no death saves, none of that. You just
No
die.
stabilize.
No
Yes.
hero points even.
Right, because I think it is like a death effect, basically.
Ew, gross. No hero points?
I don't think so, yeah.
Not that they have any.
Yeah, I used mine already.
Who is next? I think Valoros is the nearest target. Got Kira there, too.
Oh, good. What I'm good at.
Right, here we go.
Soaking.
Another nat 20.
No!
Shield block that.
Yeah,
Shield block that.
I'm definitely shield blocking that.
Yes, you definitely should. Because I'm going to do a lot of damage. That should be still a hit. That's 26. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Even
I'm
with
switching. I am switching the dies that I'm critting on, and I'm still rolling hot. I don't know what's going on, guys. I'm not trying to kill you. For anybody that picks up this box, this won't happen to you. You won't have to worry about it because this will never happen again. What's happening right now?
Yeah,
That cursed
that's
box.
for sure.
Yeah.
D20 counter for how many times he's hit on us. tonight?
Underneath all of the like placards and everything, there's like these incantations that I've scrawled in the bottom of the box. Oh boy. Here we go. Okay. We can work with that. Not so much with that. 21 points of damage. And then you'll shield block some of that, right?
5 of that.
So you take 16 and your shield will take
Yes.
16.
So it is broken.
Okay. But not destroyed, right?
Right.
Okay, so it's basically you won't be able to use it, but it will still kind of hang at your side. Let's talk about your reaction, Kiva. Do you want to kind of describe how shield block works for those at home?
So if you already have your shield raised,
Yes.
you can put the shield in front of the attack to take the brunt of it. And then it takes its hardness away from the strike.
Mm-hmm.
But then both me and the shield take the rest of it.
Yep, and that's as a reaction that you get one of each turn.
I would.
If you have your shield raised, it gives you a +2 to your AC, right?
It does.
Yes.
Not anymore though,
Not
because
anymore.
it is broken.
Yep. Ooh.
Damn.
Still got one more action.
Would have much rather used reactive strike.
Does an 18 hit Valros?
It wouldn't have if my shield still counted.
This is ridiculous, guys. I'm so
You got an
sorry.
18 with a neg
I
10.
rolled a 17 on the die.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That was a 20, a 19, a 20, 17. I'm like, I've never rolled this hot in my life. And I never will again.
And you remembered to use its reflex DC last time, right?
I did, yes. Yes. You were very close, I must say. Just not quite there. Let's see. Oh boy. 9 points of piercing
Yeah.
damage.
I'm down.
Oof. Okay. That'll put Valoros down to dying 1.
The order
This
mattered.
is fun.
It does.
So
Well,
much fun.
Great.
I'm sorry, guys.
First hit wouldn't have hit if it
But hey, this is a climactic
It is.
encounter against a massive monster. So you guys are, it should be tough.
The cleric and the wizard are the only ones standing.
Yes. Kira, it's your turn.
So when you have 2 characters that are dying, how does the initiative work?
Yeah, so my understanding is that because of the rule says you go before the monster that did it, then you would go closest to the monster, meaning that Meriziel went down first, so they're first in the
So it just
initiative,
stacks
and then
the
Valoros
dying.
goes underneath Meriziel, right next to the monster.
Okay.
So at least that's my understanding of it. I
That
think,
would make sense.
yeah,
That makes sense.
because it doesn't necessarily explain where those people are at, but it does say when you go to dying, you go right before the creature that did it,
Yep.
and you kind of do that serially depending on.
Yep.
Usually, you shouldn't have to worry about it too much, but we're finding out right now.
I guess there could be an AoE attack that would make multiple people
Oh yeah, at the
dying
same
all
time. Yeah, then that would be complicated. Yeah, I guess you do kind of have to rule at the table how to handle it because I don't think that's clearly defined.
I like tying an initiative in the first place.
Yeah.
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 Okay. I know what I'm gonna do.
Tell me.
All right. First, I'm gonna use my first 2 actions, and I am going to stabilize here.
Meriziel. Okay.
I am in touch range
You are.
of this one, so I am going to.
Yeah, you are. Yep. You may have. Is that a step for you?
Well, I mean,
can't really
they,
tell what
they
square
fell
you're
down.
I guess you're there, right?
They
Yeah, I
fell
might.
down.
Yeah, I think I would say you need to step over there to touch them.
Is that an action to step?
It is, unfortunately. Sorry to be mean, GM, but yeah, just out of reach.
Well, when they fall down, they take up 2 spaces, right?
Yes, and they roll towards you.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah, come on now.
Well, yeah, because it's either that or fall in the water. So yes, obviously he falls on the raft.
Dying barrel roll
Towards-
feet.
Kira.
Yeah.
Towards the cleric. Come on now.
Yes, of course.
That's the way I would dive.
That's how I would die.
Yes. Yes.
Towards the healer.
Yeah, if a
Unconscious.
massive creature came down and bore its tusks through my body, I would immediately think, I'm going to jump in that direction.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that makes
My
sense.
I mean,
when I go unconscious, I'm gonna make sure that I go unconscious that way.
I'm gonna lean ever so slightly forward, so when I do go unconscious, my body just continues.
tumbles. Yeah, that makes sense.
that way I'm within touch.
Yeah, exactly. Just reach out, touch their head.
All right, so you got one more action. I won't let you touch them from 10 feet away, but you could do anything else that you'd like with that one action. You can attack, you can
Fine.
fall prone, you can recall knowledge,
I already
cry.
recalled knowledge on it. I didn't get anything.
Crossbow out.
You do have a crossbow.
I pulled it at the end of the first story.
Oh yeah, and you were like,
And I was like, I don't have anything. I
we
forgot
could say
I
you
pulled my
loaded it.
crossbow.
How's that sound?
Oh, well, that
Okay,
works.
sounds good.
Okay, I'm gonna use my last action to step closer to the fighter.
Okay. Right there? Or do you want to step kind of back in towards him?
Back.
Okay. Smart. Smart. Very smart. All right. Round 3. Ezrin. What do? You see your companions falling all around you.
Well, I ain't got no healing anything, so it sucks to be them.
True.
Yeah, but you gotta hold down the fort so I can
I'm
get
trying.
the fighter down.
I've got 3 scrolls
You
of
got your
Force
spells.
Barrage.
You've got a loaded crossbow ready to rock.
I'm gonna use a scroll of Force Barrage.
So I will say if you want to use it, you'll have to get it out, but then you can use it with the remaining 2 actions.
I don't want to do that.
I know. Unfortunately, you do need to interact to kind of get it out. I don't think that it says like casting it as
Well,
part
can
of
I
it.
pull it out at the end of my second turn?
Yeah, instead of loading the crossbow, that's fine.
Yeah.
Fine with that. I'll be nice. That's fine.
Please?
Yeah. Let's go.
So I'm gonna do 3 action then.
Sure, go for it.
Where's my D? Oh, it's not shaped like a D. That's 4. So that's 5.
Okay.
Plus 2 is 7. Plus 3 is 10.
Okay. With 10 damage, you can go ahead and dispatch your foe.
That's right. He gets hit by my magic and you can't see it. He just like falls back into the water.
Yeah, just rolls over and the whole barge flips back and rocks when this
Yep.
enormous toad falls into the water.
I say take that
Splashes
bitch.
in. He's totally gone.
Totally.
And you guys
Totally.
have succeeded against
Oh my
Tusk.
gosh.
If you want to take some time to patch up, you can. However, the town is just, you can see it in
right
eye
there.
shot. It's just like a quarter mile away.
Can we just get out of the
I
water?
wanted that knife.
Can we stabilize
Listen,
that
you're
guy,
unconscious,
the
and I'm
Boleros,
stabilizing.
and just get out of the water.
I'll leave it to the people that are conscious to make that decision. Because if you wanted to
If
look
they're
for the knife,
stabilized.
you probably could do an athletics check to like dive down and find it.
He's unconscious,
Right. So what do you guys do?
so I am stabilizing this one.
Okay.
And I'm pushing us forward.
Okay. So you get on the push pole and you just start
Yeah.
driving us towards ball bottom.
I'm out.
Okay.
I will start tending them.
Okay. So kind of right about when you kind of pull up to the dock at bog bottom, you can kind of finish your treat wounds on one of them.
No, I was just gonna use my last 2 heal spells and
Oh,
do
sure.
1d8 plus 8 to each of them.
Perfect. Yeah, you can do that pretty quick.
Take 10 and take 13.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right, so that's pretty quick. So you guys get your health back, and Mariziel, if you do want to, Ezrin is out manning the push pole and pushing away, and it's just
Go
starting
get
to
it,
get
but
movement.
you gotta swim back to us.
If you want to dive in and try to find the
I'll dive in and
knife,
try
you
to
certainly
find it.
can.
With an athletics?
An athletics check.
No, that's a 6.
Okay. Unfortunately, like you dive in and like land on top of a patch of lily pads, and you're like kind of held up.
All right.
I just shake my head.
What do? You try to get back on the
Yeah, I
boat,
try to-
or? Okay.
I imagine I just hop off immediately, so I'm gonna try to work my way back.
Okay.
That's a little bit better. That's a 12.
Okay. Yeah, so you're at least able to swim back to the edge of the barge and pull yourself back on if you want to.
The barge is still moving.
But now you smell of swamp water, that nasty,
Well,
stagnant
Valera's
water
already
smell.
smelled anyways. So.
Yes. Yes.
And so does Ezrin.
It probably
I
helped.
smell like the frog.
Yeah, you still have the slime on you,
Blech.
Yeah.
and you're leaving it on with the push pole. Just that we got to get back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm out of the water. I
Gotta
want
get
out.
back, man. We gotta go.
Sounds good.
They are done.
Do you want some help with that?
With what? The knife?
Yeah.
Oh, if you don't mind trying to find it for me, yeah.
Can I try to?
Yeah, absolutely.
21?
Okay. Yeah, so you're able to jump down and take a deep breath and swim down through this brown, almost tea-like water, and you see the corpse of this. It's only about 10 feet down. and you see the corpse of this massive two-tusk laying there belly up on the bottom of the pond. You can give me another athletics check to try to grab it and rip it free from his flank.
25.
Okay, yeah. So you're able to rip that free without issue, and I'll give you with a roll that good. You're able to come back to the surface, get back on the barge without further incident. So you have that knife. Let's talk about that knife.
Is it magic?
It might be.
I can detect magic,
Yeah, let's see.
but I can't read object, or what is it? Read aura. Read aura is the one that says specifically whether an object is magic.
Okay, so if you detect magic, it is magical. Let's see. They want to try. So you know that it's magical, or at least you know that there is magic in the area. But unless it's some magic in the water, you presume it's the dagger. That's the only new item you've added to the
Area.
Because you can ignore things that you've already seen.
Right. You can ignore like all your party's gear, basically. So it's a pretty safe bet. That's it, unless there's just something random magic at the bottom of the swamp underneath you.
Either that's magical or the swamp is.
Yep. So if somebody wants to try to identify it, you certainly can with a magical tradition. I'll take any magical tradition. So nature, occultism, religion, and arcana.
I have none of the magical things.
Neither.
That makes sense for you guys. That's kind of an Ezrin deal.
19.
19, yeah. You know this is a +1 dagger. So you get +1 to attack, and it will count as magical.
Plus 1 dex.
All right. So you guys make your way back to Bog Bottom and conclude this chapter of the adventure.
Oh, yes.
I don't know what it is.
Okay.
Random dice on the floor.
So.
Sorry.
Oh,
Are
you're
you
totally
hanging on
fine.
to that dagger? Or are you gonna
No,
let me
yeah,
have it?
it's yours.
All right.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Use it in good health.
All right. So the battered barge finally arrives back in Bog Bottom, where Ladruza stands on the pier eagerly waiting. Although the journey was exhausting, there's still one more task to be done, curing the villagers of whatever foul malady the boggards have set upon them. Ladruza, however, looks hopeful, and she says, "I'm so glad to see that you've returned, and none too worse for wear. Were you able to find the ingredients?
What?
I'm certain we'll be able to cure the villagers if you have what we need."
We have the ingredients. I don't know about the none worse for wear.
Yeah, she looks around and is like, clearly kind of had this little, speech prep
prepared.
waiting at the dock. Like, they're worse for wear. But, perfect. Well, do you have them? Can I have them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you fetch them out of your bag, and she'll gather them up. Like, okay, I'll be right back. And she'll run to her kind of healer's hut and start working on brewing up some kind of antidote. While she's working on one of her great works, what do you guys?
Is there an outdoor shower?
I
I don't want to jump in the
probably
swamp.
is. Yeah, there probably is like a cistern, like a
Yeah, that's
rainwater
what I mean,
collector that you could probably get some water from to rinse off.
Yeah, I'm gonna rinse off.
Okay,
What's
great.
around this hut?
What's around this hut?
Like on the inside.
That
Yeah,
makes me
so
not clumsy
her
anymore, right?
little like healer's hut is there's just like some hanging herbs, maybe a counter. There's a big cauldron in the middle that she might be brewing this in. But is there something specific you're looking for, or?
I'm just kind of wondering what
Okay.
was like hanging around. And
Yeah, it's a very humble dwelling, and there's kind of some kind of meager kind of apartment in the back, maybe even like a ladder that goes up to the top where she's got kind of like a thatched roof, kind of canopy loft that she might stay in to sleep in. But let's see.
I'll rinse off as well since I was in the swamp.
Sounds good. Yeah, you have a
rinsing
moment
off
to kind of
makes me
clean
not
yourselves
clumsy,
up.
right?
If it's funny, this specifically says the PCs have a moment to rest and clean themselves up a bit, which is exactly what you guys are doing. So, after about an hour, Ladruza will return with a shimmering golden liquid, and she'll take the brew and carefully administer it to the 2 villagers that you guys saved. At once, their fevered dreams begin to fade, and within about 5 minutes, they're now sleeping peacefully in the cots that she probably has them laid out on. She places a hand upon their brows and nods, and explains that it seems to be working, but it's going to take some time to really know. She's very, very grateful, but then she'll kind of explain, go ahead and get some rest. Thank you so much for your work. And she'll give each of you 10 gold.
Nice.
Nice.
So you guys are free to, return, get some rest, maybe explore Bog Bottom a bit, but you've got kind of the rest of the day to yourselves.
What time? We're like 7.
Huh?
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 o'clock, maybe 6 o'clock now by the time you're kind of settled in.
Is there a communal place that the villagers all meet?
There is
Like
a few
dinner or
establishments
something?
that are very highfalutin.
A bar.
in Bog Bottom. Yes, there is
Something like
tavern,
that.
yes, there is a watering hole for sure. Let's
No
see.
fights.
No fights.
But that's how you bond.
You never can know.
We've already bonded.
We've already done the bonding.
So there are
if we
3
wanna
kind
bond
of
better?
points of interest that this book talks about in Bog Bottom.
Okay.
There is a place called Mudfly Supplies, which kind of sells some basic adventuring
Mudfly
supplies to
supplies.
go into the swamp, maybe some fishing tackle and stuff like that. There is the Moss Pig, which is kind of the inn and the only tavern in town. and you
Yes,
might
the
be
Moss
appointed with the inn because you might have stayed there a couple nights as you guys were kind
Probably.
of starting out here. And lastly, there is the Sinking Pony, which is a small shop that depicts a pony neck deep in swamp muck. And they sell some things there as well. Kind of same deal,
That's
expedition
Very
supplies.
never-ending
Yeah.
story of them.
Yes.
It's
yes.
very rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Moss Pig is run by a family of dwarves. Everyone obeys Chris' commands of the matriarch. Her name is Bjorna Cragborn, and you may have met her. She's this stout and very stoic woman that, kind of is ordering her family, her children and her uncles and her cousins. They're all hurrying about, taking care of the wonderful and varied patrons of the Moss Pig. So you guys can certainly come in and get a pint of mossy stout. That's all they have on tap. They don't have a tap list, but they have this dark brown stout that the bubbles, it's so dark that the bubbles are brown and almost green.
So long as it doesn't smell like swamp water.
It doesn't. It actually
good.
smells very, almost like chocolate or coffee. It's so dark.
Yeah, we're pretty much gonna get a pint, some
a meal.
food, and
And go to bed.
sit down and
I'm gonna spend
Go.
some time to invest in the dagger.
what the fuck is that?
Yeah. Yeah, you can certainly do that. And yeah, if you guys are just going to get a meal, see, Bjorna will offer it on the house because she heard about kind of what you were doing to help the villagers and allow you to go upstairs to your in the room. We'll presume that you kind of settled up in advance, so we won't charge you for that, but you can go to your rooms for the night if you choose to do so.
So, while we're down there eating, if there's any like locals in the bar or in the tavern, like, have you guys ever heard of a very large frog with 2 tusks?
Give me a diplomacy.
Okay. Touchy. 22.
Okay. Yeah, so one
3.
of the kind of older dwarven gentlemen who's maybe kind of wiping up a table in the corner hears you asking about a creature with 2 tusks. And he'll kind of turn to you and go, "Oh yeah, that's the legend of 2 Tusk. A big slurk that lives in the swamp. I heard of a knife fighter once, came to town and bragged that he'd track down and kill it, but never came back, finished without a trace. You be careful if you see anything like that. You say 2 tusks as if you've seen something. Have you?
Yeah. We
Was it the slurk?
I guess so. We actually did
Yeah.
kill it.
Pull out the knife and show him. This is the knife that we found in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
by my beard. You've truly taken care of 2 tusks. Oh, that's incredible. That'll definitely keep the swamp a tidbit safer for the time being. Thank you. And
It's not
I
very
suppose
far out.
there's not much left of that knife fighter.
No, we didn't find him.
The knife, that's about it.
He's sleeping in the bottom of still water, I suppose.
Sleeping with the fishes.
And he kind of like, has like a quiet gesture on his chest, like, hope he sleeps well. Bjorna will also speak up with your kind of asking around about things, and Bjorna will also mention Bjorna is talking to another patron, and you kind of get the general gist in the bar that people are talking about. The water just seems to keep getting higher, and it's like unseasonably high. It's like it's higher again today. Like usually after a big rain, water will come up for a few days and go back down. There hasn't been any weather to indicate that the water should be coming up, but it is. People are kind of, that's the talk of the town.
So we're gonna go find a giant beaver who's built a dam.
Beaver slurk, two tooth, one tail.
Yeah.
Yes. Tune in for the homebrew of
Dawn of the
part 4, where we go find a beaver. All right. Anything else you guys want to do?
The rising water, do they seem alarmed yet, or is this a curiosity so far?
I think they're pretty much just curious. You know, there's a lot of strange things about kind of how the swamp functions, because it is a very big swamp. So I think people are just kind of like that's a record high, you know. Like they probably do the thing where they mark on the post like certain big rains that they've had historically, and they're like it's getting up there past, you know, the whatever, the great rain of whatever, but it's not like people's homes are going under or walkways are going
set
under.
a record this year.
Yeah, nothing like, oh no, our houses are underwater yet, but it's getting closer to some of the lower walkways where kind of people are pulling their boats
I'd
up.
imagine being swampy, their houses are kind of built on stilts anyways.
Exactly, yeah. So this is like not on an island, it's like free in the middle of the swamp on stilts. So, and the reason they build them up on stilts, I mean, this is true even if you know, in real life had a place down in the bayous of like Louisiana or somewhere, or on a river where you're in an alluvial floodplain where that is going to seasonally go up and down, you would have stilts up above the water to compensate so that your house doesn't get swamped when the rains come through, or they let the levee out.
Just have a house.
I used to have a house on the river.
Did you?
Yes, and it was built up above the bank. So you have to compensate for where the water naturally rises.
Yeah.
And then when it floods.
Yeah, it's really wild. I've been like down to the Ohio River a few times, and it's wild to see like how the water will come up there some 80 feet. You know what I mean? Or I have a family member in Cincinnati a couple years ago. We had that rain. It was like the second story of the parking garage was underwater. Like just crazy how much that seasonal change can affect our water levels.
The cabin that I used to live in, we were right outside the White River. Like you could walk off the porch and take 2 steps and be in the river. And it varied from at the banks, at the very edge, like you're wondering if one good rainfall is just going to push it over.
Sure.
And then there was one year that my brother got a truck stuck down in the river because him and his friends went mudding in the river.
Yeah, you gotta really know your depths. I've been through that a couple times in some truck trails where you're like, oh, that looks shallow, and it's like 5 feet deep.
This was not the truck trail. This was riverbed.
Oh, they just went for it.
Because it was so low.
Because it was so low.
Wow, that's wild.
The only thing that was running through the river was the current, which is the deepest part.
Yep.
But there were sandbars, and I'm talking like currents only like that.
Yeah.
That wide.
Right.
And it just curving through the river.
Yeah. Yep, you gotta be careful. Water always wins, that's what they say.
Yep, that house ended up in the river.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yep. It's unfortunate, but there are some risks with living in beautiful places, unfortunately, most of the time. Okay. Well, if there's anything else you guys want to do before we go to bed, or... Okay.
I'm ready for bed.
All right. So.
Kayla or Ezra?
Ezra.
Okay.
I
would
ready
like
for
to
bed.
eat
Jacob's
before I
ready for
go.
bed. In fact, I'm just going to sleep right now. We'll end the episode early. I'm just going to roll a sleeping bag, call it there.
I mean, we got space.
Jacob sleeps here, if you guys didn't know. He sleeps under the table.
Yep. You didn't know that the guest GM has to actually stay here. That's part of the process.
That's why we have the beanbag over there.
That's right. So I'm going to read some of the block text here for kind of the last bit of your conversations with Ladruza. So within the House of Rest, she speaks with the villagers, getting a recounting of their captivity. Oh, good, you're here, she proclaims as they were... Halprin and Perinia were just telling me about their time with the Boggards. I think you'd better sit down. You need to hear this. And at once a harrowing story spills out from the 2 recovered villagers. This is like the next morning after you've gotten some rest. How they were captured by the Boggards while out fishing, then forced to eat a foul-smelling mush that muddled their thoughts. And I think one of you found something to kind of that effect in the top of the old mill with some perception checks. They weren't harmed during their time with the Boggards. In fact, the Boggards took care to make sure the villagers were well fed, because in a few days, you'll join your friends in the great work. This information intrigues Ladruza, who now suspects that more boggards are building something deeper in the swamp. She looks about with worry on her face and says, "It seems to me that the town might need you for one last adventure." But she doesn't have any direction for you at the moment. They don't really know where this place is deeper in the swamp, but you can take some time to kind of rest up if you choose to do so. This book has some kind of downtime pursuits that you guys might each be interested in based on your characters, but if you have something else that you specifically would like to try to do, let me know. But we're going to switch from encounter and exploration to downtime. So, there are things you can do in downtime, like crafting to make items. You can earn an income by performing at the pub, or working, like you could maybe even just use athletics if you're doing some labor work. But there are several kind of downtime activities, but there are some specific things in here that I can have you guys try. If you want to I'll poke through those. So for Ezrin, the one is that he might take his downtime in a quiet place to scribe a scroll. So if you want to attempt that, you can give me an Arcana check.
18.
Okay. You've created a scroll of Force Barrage.
Oh, I'm back up to 3.
Yes, so you can hang on to that. Kira might take some time to brew a potion in the healing hut.
Okay.
So you can give me a religion check. What you got?
23.
Okay. You are successful in your attempts, and you create a minor healing potion.
Nice.
Mariziel may attempt to, appear to relax in town, but keep their eye out for opportunities, such as you spot a shady pickpocket. They attempt to pickpocket a thief, or I'm sorry, they pickpocket a pickpocket of passerbyers. Yes, Peter Pocket picked a patch of pickled pockets. Oh boy. Oof. A local pickpockets a merchant. You can then attempt to pickpocket the thief without them noticing.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Okay, so you can give me a thievery check.
It's a 10.
That's a terrible.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
terrible.
the thief turns and notices you and kind of brusques you away and then runs to the other end of town and makes off with the coin. Unfortunate. Okay. Valeros, you can help out. There's no doubt that the swamp waters are rising, and people are scrambling to kind of shore up their homes in case of a potential flood. You could pitch in with an athletics check to kind of help board up windows, patch up maybe doorways and stuff to prevent water from coming in.
Sure, why not? I assume this sort of thing doesn't even take
Sure.
a downtime investment.
Right.
But I do need to
repair your shield.
my shield.
Yeah, you can give me some. Well, let's deal with that first. So let's do some craft checks to try to repair your shield. You
Okay.
trained in crafting?
Yes.
Okay.
What is it, like a 15?
I think so. I think it's the
Similar
DC
to
of the
heal,
item,
yeah.
right? So
It is.
your shield's probably a level 1 item.
Yep.
So
Okay, so that's a fail.
okay. So you can try again. It's not a critical failure, right?
No.
Okay.
That's a success.
Okay. I don't remember how much it comes back with the repair. I might have to pull that up real quick. I think it's like a D8.
It's a D8, yeah.
Okay. So you can go ahead and roll a D8 to add it back. And I'll double check real fast just to make sure we're playing by the rules.
All right, we probably can need a couple of those.
Yeah, you spend 10 minutes.
Oh, if it's 10 minutes, I mean.
You success. Restore 5. You just restore 5.
Oh.
Okay.
And plus 5 for every rank you have in crafting. So I think you're just trained.
Oh,
Yes.
there was I was thinking of a fee. There's a fee that you can add to your
Risky repair?
Risky repair. That's
Yeah.
what it is,
Yep.
Okay, these take 10 minutes?
Yep.
Okay, so, I mean, I'll just make sure I don't critically fail, I guess.
Sure.
Yes. No. Oh, do crits do more?
Crits deal 2d6 damage to the item, but you do get to apply the hardness. So.
No, crit successes.
Oh, crit
Heal
success.
more.
Yes, that will heal 10 back.
Okay, then I'm
Yeah, you critically succeed and
If
you
you critically
damage.
succeed, you just break it in half. The end. Yeah.
Guys, I made 2 shields.
That's right.
Out of just 1.
Yes.
I don't think that's what you meant to
We're
do.
gonna make so much money.
Yeah, you just turn them into shields. And at what point is the original shield not the original shield anymore because you made so many shields?
Right.
Shield of Theseus.
Exactly.
Shields are like jellyfish. They're immortal. I'll try I'll help them with the.
Okay.
Not well. 14.
14 is enough to help them shore up some of the houses and maybe, untie some of the boats and move them around so they're not moored up to the lowest posts, to tie them up higher. And some of the villagers will thank you for the time and award you with 4 gold. So you guys have kind of, gone to rest for the night. This is how you spent your second day. You can probably go back to the mud pig, get some rest, and we'll jump into part 3 of this adventure, which is a dirge for Dunmire. So I'm gonna kind of read out the block text and we'll push in. So this, guys, for those at home, this is where you would kind of end your gaming night and move into, play another time, because this is kind of like that 2 to 3 hour session. But we've been moving through it pretty quick, so I think we're gonna jump in, at least get our little ways into part 3 here. So it says the next 2 days it's been 2 days since the captured villagers were cured and their memories are restored. The villagers report having heard that they're boggard captors talking about building some sort of great work, but there are few clues as to what that might be. In response, the town elders send scouting parties to try to uncover the truth, but none have yet returned. But now, a more immediate problem faces the village. The swamp waters are rising. The people of Bog Bottom are no stranger to rising waters and have built their homes on stilts to weather the rainy seasons, but there has not been heavy rain for weeks, and yet the water still rises. Just this morning, some of the wooden walkways between the stilted homes have submerged. Inevitably, villagers have begun wondering if these rising waters are somehow connected to whatever it is the boggards are up to. Perhaps the answers will come as one of the scouting parties has finally returned to Bog Bottom, looking both worried and wounded. So in town, there is actually one small kind of mound that is out of the water, and it's kind of like a meeting place. Think not like a park, but there's just like maybe a couple trees, and that's where they kind of meet to have their moots, so to speak, where the town council might meet. What do you guys do? The scouting party is pulled up to that kind of moot, and there is a crowd of people gathering to talk to them.
Go listen.
Okay.
See what they have to say. What they found.
Okay. So if you approach and you're listening, kind of standing at the back of the crowd and listening to the scouting party, you hear, let's see, Ledruza comes, is part of that. But let's see, who is this speaking? Yes, this is the scouts. They say, a dam! That's what the boggards are building, a massive dam made from mud, wood, and stone. Yes, grave looks pass through the whole village as they hear this news. There's a village elder. Her name is Amelia Urthronra. She's the oldest member of the council, and she moves up on her little walking stick, points out, "Do you think this is what is causing the waters to rise throughout the swamp?" She asks with no small amount of trembling in her voice. "We do," says the scout leader. "It appears that they've clogged up most of the estuary and built a dam at the largest opening. And there's something more. A lot of folks have gone missing. They're helping them." And this little elder Thronra, her cool, compassionate eyes study the scouts intently, and she says, "It seems we may need your help one last time. This dam must be destroyed before the water floods us all." What do you guys do? She's basically looked to you immediately, seeing you guys kind of in the back of the crowd.
How many boggards do you think there are over there?
It was hard telling, maybe a half dozen. That's what I could see from on top. But there was guards posted at several sides of it. There's a large tree on one end and then a lower island on the other side. There was boggards and workers down there collecting mud. There was a dock in the middle with a door that was also guarded. And then a tower on top. Same deal, more guards.
Yeah, I think we can take care of this.
All right, well, if you're gonna go, let me draw you a map. It's quite a ways. And he begins kind of, if you have the map that Ledruza sent with you, he'll chart where this, the dam is on your map. And it is significantly farther than the other places you've gone. This is almost 1 to 2 days float with a barge to this location.
Are there any dangers on your way there or back?
Nothing particular other than the swamp itself. You never know what you might run into. There's so many different creatures that live there, but we didn't have any major run-ins. Just make sure you pick a good island to sleep on. That's all I'll say.
I mean, I think we should be able to fight our way to the dam, but I don't know how to destroy a dam. Are we going to need some kind of equipment in order to take this thing down, do you think?
Maybe. What was the dam made of? Was it just wooden?
It's made of stone, wood, and mud.
So probably burning it's not gonna do.
It's hard telling. I think that it's still under construction. They're not done with it yet. If there are any main sluice gates or overflows, I think if you open those wide, it might just sweep enough water through to pull all the uncured mud apart. It might knock it down. I'm no engineer, but there's a good chance that the flowing water from the already built up water will be enough to tear it down. That's at least a place to start. At least set them back severely, I would assume. So if you guys agree to go on the adventure, a Ladruza kind of hurries up to you and comes and gives you a pack. And inside the pack is food and water for a couple days' journey. And also 6 doses of this antidote that she's prepared.
Ask if we can take some.
Yes, yeah, because her ears perk up when she hears that the workers are, or that there are people that have been kidnapped and are now working at the dam. So she definitely runs back to her healer's hut and gets you some of those antidotes. You can take them with you and potentially cure those people. So you can take those with you. Let's see. The elder stresses that she does not wish harm to come to the boggards, and it's likely that violence may be necessary to end this threat to the town. She continues to point out that your prime objective is just to destroy the dam, not to, slaughter them to the man or anything like that. Because you guys may have noticed, kind of walking through the town, but there are some boggards that actually live in Bog Bottom. That one, let's see here. Let me find the Mudfly Supplies. That's run by a pair of boggards. So there are some boggards that aren't,
Are evil.
Yes, exactly. But this great work is quite unusual. So if you decide to travel to the dam, it's going to take a couple days. Let's see. Camp along the way. Somebody give me a survival check just to kind of generally navigate towards, follow the map. And you guys can aid as needed, and also maybe pick out a place to camp for the night that seems safe.
Nope. Going the complete opposite way. Did you roll a 1?
I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 1.
Save us, Nate. Save us.
I got a 23.
Okay. So everybody seems thinks everybody's supposed to go in a different direction. But Mariziel is able to point out, like, no. We went those ways last time. We're going, north up this way, and then we take a right. And you are able to make your way, a good portion of the way. It gets dark. You find a decent, dry island to set a camp on. Seems small enough where it's kind of defensible. And the night passes uneventfully. You wake up the next morning. You get back on your raft, and you take the push poles and keep pushing, following the map. And you do eventually arrive at this massive structure in front of you. And we're going to see how you guys want to approach this.
Carefully.
Yes, carefully is key. So, from what the scouts described, there is kind of this low spot here and a large tree that goes up to the top of the dam. There is this island here where some workers were collecting mud, and there's a bridge that leads up to the top of the dam, or there is a dock here that has a door that goes in, a guarded door. So you can see this in the distance. kind of safely from the safety of your barge. You can see these general features without raising the alarm. What do you do? Do you go now? Do you wait for a certain time of day? Do you have a certain strategy you're interested in? I can give you some perception checks if you're kind of unsure.
Do we think if we were to dock that we would be seen by those that were on the mud side over there?
If you were to dock, well, give me a perception check. So this is probably like kind of midday of the second day.
10.
Okay. Yeah, you can't really necessarily gauge, whether how many there are, but there clearly is movement on this island and on this dock.
Okay. I don't think we should just barge in. I think we should maybe wait for night and then sneak up through that tree.
Yep.
And try to infiltrate the
I think
place.
that's a good idea.
Okay. I'm gonna read the block text
like
here,
that
and
idea.
we'll see if that influences you guys at all. The dam is a massive edifice of mud, stone, and timber, stretching between two squat hills. One hill has sheer sides covered in brambles, but it's hard to see due to a massive tree blocking the view. The other hill appears far more approachable, a gentle slope leading down to the swamp waters. A bridge leads from that hill to the top of the dam, near a crude watchtower. Near the base of the dam, there's a small dock with cages and a door into the dam's interior. Even from the distance, boggards and villagers can plainly be seen toiling away to complete the gigantic structure. So what do we vote?
Do we want to try to be sneaky and pretend to be one of the people collecting mud?
Oh, pretend like we're some of the folks that they've fed whatever to and
Yeah.
converted. That's a possibility.
It'd be a way to get inside.
I feel like waiting though until the cover of dark.
Yeah.
And
Potentially they aren't going to work at night either, so maybe we can come up the easier side at night and not have to climb the tree. Maybe just wait it out.
Okay. So you guys want to come back at night?
What do you think, Flares?
Yeah, I don't feel good about trying to fool some boggards. Night feels better.
Okay.
Okay.
Night it is.
Okay, so you guys kind of push further down, maybe pull into a little,
inlet.
inlet. You can kind of tuck yourselves up there and wait for nightfall. Maybe some small bugs are bothering you, but other than that, you seem to be undisturbed. And night falls on the dam. You wait for it to get dark. It's now very dark, though. So how are you guys going to get about now that it's dark out? Do you have spells or torches or ways to see in the dark? You're far enough where it's not going to be difficult to know how to get back to the dam, but you're probably going to need some way to see.
I have light.
You can
I
cast
also have
light?
light.
Okay. All right, so either of you or both of you can cast light and sustain it, so you can kind of see what's going on.
It says it casts light, cast bright light in 20-foot radius and dim for the next 20 feet.
That's not what mine says. Mine says it sheds a light of a color that I choose in a 20-foot radius.
Ooh!
Flavor.
Yes.
Well, we're sneaking, so maybe a purple or a
That's
dark
I was
blue.
thinking purple so that it would be
Perfect.
less noticeable. I really was.
Nice.
Green, like the bog water.
Sure. Okay.
Whatever.
Or like
Purple's
maybe
way
the
better.
bugs that are lighting up around here.
Right, like little lantern flies or something. Okay, cool.
Golden light.
Okay, so with that being said, you guys pull yourself closer, and you notice there's significantly less movement around the dam. There's nobody down on this lower section here, but you do see a couple torches up in the tower. Where would you like to approach?
Yeah, I guess if no one's on the side where they were collecting mud, we should probably go up there since it's easier.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys in a
Unless you just
same
want to
mind?
dock and try the door.
No, not with people in the tower.
I just want to point out, did you see TJ change the light color?
I see that.
Yeah.
Dude, he's the
Yeah.
best. Love it. Okay, so we'll put you guys here.
I love it.
Okay. Yeah, you can dock on the far side of the island and kind of walk your way up in the darkness with your light. And like I said, there doesn't seem to be any movement currently.
Obligatory, I have low light vision.
Okay. Sounds good. Yes. I will keep that in mind for when it won't ever matter.
Yeah.
Gotta throw that out there,
I'm gonna
right?
throw that out there.
Yes, of course.
Because I don't.
You guys are all humans, so.
Yeah.
right.
We're not. We have no plans on bluffing our way in. So
Oh,
weapons
no.
Yeah,
out.
I just plan on sneaking up and trying to find a way to destroy this without interacting with anybody.
I'm glad you feel like sneaking is the best way to do this, because
Your bones are creaking.
probably
The ripe old age of 52.
snap, crackle, pop.
I will say, as you guys do get closer to kind of where this bridge is, you do hear a kerplunk of a stone that falls into the water.
Oh.
And you do notice, now that you've gotten closer, that there are 2 figures at the top of the bridge, but they haven't noticed you.
Ooh, fun.
Sneaky.
At the top of the bridge is across the bridge
Is
from
there-
us?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there light where they are?
There doesn't seem to be, well, let's see. Let's see what it says. I bet they don't have dark vision, do they? They do, so no.
Okay. Well, then I can't drop the light, because I won't be able to see.
Can't stealth the light above our heads.
Yep, there's just 2 figures in the
I
darkness
can't
standing
stealth
there.
Anyway.
And they seem to be, as you
have a
continue to
light.
watch them, they're still kind of like tossing stones into the water.
I'm not looking in our direction.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
well-
they're passing the time, bored.
If I drop the light, how hard is it going to be across that little bridge?
You will not be able to see, so it'll be difficult terrain. But I mean, you kind of it's one of those things you could turn the light off and kind of still have an idea of where it is.
Yeah.
Just don't trip and you'd be all right.
Can we take him from here?
I mean,
Possibility.
I could. I've got electric arc. Or the force barrage.
I can throw a dagger.
I've got a crossbow.
Yeah, if you guys want to attempt to, they don't notice you at all. They're still just kind of like sitting with their backs, to you, kind of tossing rocks, picking up pebbles and throwing them in the water. See which one makes the biggest splash, like a toddler, basically. What? That's what they're doing. Is finding big, cool rocks.
Are
and
they
tucking them
looking away from each other as well? So
Yeah,
they
basically,
would-
one's looking this way and one's looking kind of down this way, so they don't notice you here.
I
Maybe it's the
don't have
color of the
anything.
light you've chosen.
Or we could go around and try the tree.
It's up to you guys.
Oh, it is.
Okay. I'm gonna try to time this at the same time. You hit target one and I'll target the other.
Force barrage.
Well, I could do force barrage or I could do electric arc, which will get both of them.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I like that.
Okay. If we're all gonna shoot, let's roll some initiatives, and then we'll give you guys kind of a surprise round to see what happens.
I can't shoot anything. I don't have anything to shoot.
That's fine. You can still roll your perception, and we'll put you in the order here.
I will draw my scimitar and raise my sword, shield.
Okay. Boy, this is some intense music. All right. What do we have?
Magic.
14.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
That one for a 6.
Oof. Okay.
Ooh.
And Kier?
20.
Okay. You roll for these guys. And Kira, if you want to do your thing, if you're going to do anything. You said you didn't have anything? Okay.
I don't have anything. I just have my sword, my
Alright.
shield. Raise my shield.
All right, Mariziel
There you
then.
There you go.
I'm gonna throw my non-magical dagger
Okay.
at the one on the right.
Okay.
I guess my right from that perspective.
What's the range on that dagger?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, the daggers only have a 10-foot range, apparently. I didn't know that.
Okay.
I thought you could throw them
Ooh.
further than that.
Well, you got a
Um,
full turn, so if you wanted to like scoot up a
Yeah,
little bit
I
and
will
then throw.
sneak up as much as I can.
Okay. Okay, like there-ish. Or do you want to get on the bridge itself?
Well, I mean, if I've got to be within 10 feet, right? Yeah.
You get penalties if you're.
Yeah, you
more
can
than
take the
10.
range increment penalty if you need to.
But you can attack up to 60,
Oh.
70.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't say that. It just says range increment 10 feet on here, so I don't.
Okay. Yeah, so at each additional 10 feet, you take a -2. So if you want to throw past the 10 feet, you can take the penalties. But you could try to, if you want to give me a stealth check, you can try to sneak all the way up there.
I'll do that.
Okay.
That's a natural 1.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So that's half speed. How far do you want to go half speed?
Well, I would go the full 15.
15? Okay, that gets you there, and both of them definitely like hear, like, what was that?
Great.
And you have 2 more actions.
Yep. You said it's a -2 for every 10 feet over
Right.
10 feet.
But you have been made.
Right. So I'm gonna, when I notice that they heard me, at least
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw the dagger at the one on the right.
The one on the right? Okay. Go for it.
That's better. That's a 21.
Okay.
And then I don't know how
Like
much
1
negative.
penalty. So, yeah, 1. So, all right. That'll hit.
Okay. So that is 1d4 plus 1.
Okay.
And then because I'm moving before them,
Yep.
I get another d6.
Sure.
And they're off guard to me on the first turn. of
They
combat,
are, yeah.
so-
So that kind of washes out your increment penalty.
Yeah.
That's great.
That is 5 damage
Total?
total.
Okay.
I rolled a 1 on the
Got
d6.
Still, that like thuds right into his chest, and he like lets out this loud croak. And the tower, you see there's torches that are moving now in the tower as they let out this croak. And you have 1 action.
I will draw my magical dagger.
Okay, great. Ezra, you're next.
Basic reflex for both of them.
Okay, got it. $22 and a 11.
Well, the 22 takes half
Okay.
because it's against my spell DC.
Yes,
Yeah.
you got it.
So that's 4 damage total. So 2 for the.
Okay.
That's not a lot. And then I'll pull out my crossbow.
Okay. Spell, crossbow, Valoros, you're up.
Bow shot on the guy on the right.
Okay.
I've never actually checked what the range is on a bow.
You're good.
Oh, 16, plenty. 18.
18 is it.
All right, that is 6 damage. And what is it? An action to draw another arrow, and then another action to fire a second time?
No, so bows have a reload of 0, so you can actually just knock an arrow as a free action and take another shot.
All right.
Yep,
Just your map.
You become Legolas.
that's right.
Oh, yeah. Planning for the future. Is that bridge wide enough to squeeze past, or is that one
Yeah,
person?
yeah. If it's your ally, you can slip right past.
Okay. That's gonna be that'll miss anything. That's like a 6.
Okay. Yeah, no go on the second shot.
I'll drop the bow and draw my sword.
Okay. All right. The bottom of the round, one of these boggards comes rushing forward towards Mariziel's. They see their friend take that dagger to the chest. Get him! And they've got let out this nasty
Damn.
warning croak.
That one right there.
Yes.
So much for being stealthy.
Look, if you can't be stealthy, we didn't have a chance.
Nope.
Actually, they're not going to run all the way up. They're going to run to here, and they're going to open up that mouth and whoosh, shoot its tongue out at you to grab you. Oh, 25?
Against my AC?
Yes.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay.
It's not a crit.
You take no damage, but you're going to have, let's see. Hit target with the tongue, normal grab. You're not immobilized, but you can't move beyond the reach of the boggard's tongue.
That's interesting.
Okay. So you are grabbed,
Okay.
but you're not immobilized.
What
so
would
you
happen then
as long as
if
you stay
you-
within 10 feet.
Okay.
like the AT-ATs on Hawk.
Yeah.
You just,
I'm gonna go underneath his legs,
Yeah.
tumble through.
Yeah.
last I checked,
Boggart
Mariziel
origami.
Just
right.
saying.
is quite lithe, but I don't think she's tiny size to really pull that off. But I like the idea. Bonus points for creativity. Okay.
Well, are the boggarts small?
Your tongue grabbed. Okay. He's going to draw a sling from his belt, and that's his turn. Top of round 2 is the other boggart that has that dagger stuck in his chest, and it's also going to get a sling out and now load it, swing it above his head at Marizu. Take a shot. This is a 19.
19 just hits.
Okay. What's up? That's 3 points of damage. Okay. Kira, go ahead.
Yep. What? Oh.
We're not stealthy anymore, so you might as well run up and get him.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna run up into the space between the tongue-tied.
Okay, you can get there in 2 actions.
Yep. I have 25 feet of movement, so. All right, and then I will strike.
Okay.
Does 19 hit?
It does.
Six.
Okay, that is enough to dispatch that foe. All right, Mariziel, you're no longer grabbed because that tongue just falls off you. But there's still the one back with that sling that hit you.
Yep. Is it back to my turn?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I will continue on up and using the magical dagger,
Okay,
take a strike.
go for it.
That's great. That's a 24.
24?
24 is a critical hit.
Nice. That's great. Unfortunately, I don't get sneak attack on this.
Can't get it all the time now.
It will be 2d4, and because it's so I'm using dex for that, so it's 8.
Okay.
Plus 4 plus 8 is 12.
All right, that is more than enough to dispatch this foe.
Oh, plus the 1, so that's another 2.
Thanks, TJ. Perfect. I'm glad you found the sound effect to go with the hostile takedown. All right, well, that will bring us out of initiative for the moment. You see some movement up in the tower, but nobody's
But
like
they've not seen us
jumping
yet.
down to come get you, or at least they're not actively gonna sally out to attack you. But they seem to be noticing that croak. When he let out that big croak, they know something is up.
Okay.
But we're actually already overtime. We
like
had
that.
so much fun that we wanted to play all night long. And don't get me wrong, I would love to, because I'm having a blast here.
Yeah.
So you guys have made your way to the great work, this dam that's being built up to flood the Dunmire and sink Bog Bottom. You've taken out some of the boggards after a nighttime raid, and you now have a choice to make. Do you go into the tower? Do you go back down and go into the door? The choice is up to yours next time. And next time might be a while, since last time was 4 months
Yeah.
ago. So maybe in another 4 months, we'll wrap this one up. And then, by that time, another 4 months, we'll have the new game night box to play. So we'll just keep playing game boxes.
This isn't gonna take 3 hours, right? To do the last part?
No, we'll cook through this fast, and yeah, maybe we'll get to crack into something else towards the end of the episode. Who knows?
So what I'm hearing is that you're gonna be back tomorrow, and then whatever Mike has planned, we'll just pick up there.
Ooh, wow. I don't know. You have to talk to the boss about that one. But yeah, thanks you guys for watching. Thanks for playing with us. Thanks for coming to check this out. I hope you learned something. I hope you had fun. I know I had fun, and I definitely learned a couple things that we needed to kind of clarify as we went. So thanks for watching. Thanks for playing. Don't forget tomorrow night, come back for Soul Severed, or I guess whatever Mike has cooked up, right? Because he's got
Yeah, I
maybe a
have no
little
idea.
one-shot situation. So more surprises on the way. They're going to have fun tomorrow night. And don't forget to check us out next week, Monday, Tuesday, for Bloodlords and Soul Severed as usual. Those are great adventures to check out that kind of, really amp this up to the next level. So they're a lot of fun. We're having a great time. Bloodlords is like an undead-focused political intrigue kind of adventure. Soul Severed is a very high fantasy, like full throttle, like War Between the Gods homebrew game that is really, really fun and really gives that kind of classic homebrew vibe. So thank you guys for watching. I hope everybody had fun, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care, guys.
Bye. Our DMs decided to take unapproved time off. Both of them.
The same week.
On the same week.
Well, I have no official power, but I unofficially approve Patrick's time off to celebrate his wife's birthday. So.
Okay, fine.
I suppose Seer's excuse is okay
Time
too.
off is still unapproved.
Oh, okay. All right. Per TJ,
Yeah.
there's no such thing
Seer's
as approved time
excuse is
off.
really good as well.
Yeah,
I was
it
going to
is.
say, if that's not approved time off, what is?
Right. Yes, good reminder to celebrate those that are important, for sure.